Well, Colleen Hoover's back and she's ditching Blake Lively, but that's okay because the judge also shut her down. And we're going to talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because we actually had a good episode this week. So get ready. Let's get it. Let's dive in. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. What's up, guys? Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. Sharon, no, I still have not found my internet modem. It is lost somewhere in the house, somewhere in the apartment. I don't know where to find it, but it's here somewhere. Colleen is back. Yes, we'll get into the Colleen Hoover of it all. But yeah, I mean, so much to get into. First off, new episode of the Pop Report is out right now. We dissect the Taylor and Travis Kelce of it all and whether or not Taylor and Travis are going to get broken up. Who's going to do the breaking up? I have my predictions that I lay out there. We have a lot that we get into. We talk about the Super Bowl, the halftime show, Liam Payne struggling with his sexuality, lots of different things that we're getting into on the Pop Report, some new movies and TV shows that are coming out. So go tune into the Pop Report. You can watch on YouTube or on Spotify, and you can listen on your favorite podcast apps. Me and my boy Andy Lawani breaking it all down for you on the Pop Report every Wednesday and Friday. So go tune into that. And then also I am on Citizen McCain today as well. So not only do you get No Filter, but you get Citizen McCain and the Pop Report on a Wednesday. But Meghan McCain and I, we dive into a lot. She had me on her podcast. We had a lot of fun. We talked lots of housewife stuff. We talked about Shabana and Onijah, who hopefully will make it back to New York soon. We'll see. But we get into so much, and it's a really lively, fun conversation. You see, Laura says it was a great episode. Thank you, Laura. T. Tambo said, I watched the Pop Report this morning. Andy said, girl, 35,000 times. Did he? We'll go drag him for that. Okay. Let's get it, guys. Let's get it. Can't wait to watch the Meghan McCain interview, Zack. Thank you. Well, and Meghan will be on my show. Oh, I think on Friday of this week. Yeah. So I'm on Citizen McCain today. And then this Friday, Meghan is supposed to come on No Filter. So stay tuned for that. Let's get it. Get it. Okay. Who got engaged? Love Meghan. Congrats, Zack. So proud of you. Who got engaged? Somebody got engaged? They not like us. They not like us. Did someone get engaged? No, nobody got engaged. Them Swifties are already mad at you and Meghan. Oh yeah, the Swifties came for us hard. It's so funny because the clips, I don't always know what social clips are going to be run, right? So when I just, I get the notifications like, oh, so and so wants you to collab on this social clip, and I saw that on Citizen McCain they picked the Taylor Swift clip where we were a little, we had some critiques for we had some critiques for Taylor Swift on Citizen McCain, and that's the post that ended up getting published on social media. And then I also, on the Pop Report last week, I think I called Bianca Kanye West's concubine, which was more of just like, I don't know, it was a flippant comment that I made, but then that was what ended up getting run as the Pop Report promo clip, and I was like, oh my God, I'm getting it left and right. And then obviously I critiqued the Super Bowl, so I had all of the Eagles fans coming after me. So like it was the perfect storm, right? I had all the Swifties coming after me because I talked about Taylor Swift getting booed, and then I had all the Kendrick Lamar fans coming after me. So I was like, and obviously, because I critiqued Kendrick Lamar, they were all calling me racist. And then I guess because I talked about Taylor Swift getting booed, I guess, I don't know, that makes me anti-white. I'm not really sure what it is, or maybe anti-women. I'm not really sure what the standards are these days. And then apparently PETA should come after me for coming after the Eagles fans. I came after the birds. It was just funny. So I'm like, oh great. I was like, I'm not looking in my comments for the next 2 weeks. You can't win either way. No, but it was like all the intense fandoms, right? I had all of them coming at me at once, all just for my critique of the Super Bowl. Like there was no way to get unscathed. Yeah, somebody was going to comment, or like there was going to be critiques about something. But yeah, you can't leave the house. I mean, truly, you can't. Yeah, the Eagles fans are brutal. The Swifties are brutal. Yeah. Zack, you're just stirring the pot across the board. I'm not trying to stir the pot. I just give my comment. I don't know. I gave my commentary when it was Rihanna, and people loved that video. They thought it was funny when I made that video a couple years ago after the Rihanna Super Bowl halftime performance. but this was the wrong audience to ruffle some feathers with. Eagles fans will shank you. I know. It's okay. And then I have Reddit coming every day. There's a new Reddit thread that I see, and I'm like, you know what? Can you bend over so I can sit on your face because I'm tired of hearing your mouth talk? But if you're gonna run your mouth, at least let me get some good use out of it. No, you keep doing you. Screw that. Yeah, I'm always do me. That's not gonna change. I'ma do me. I have to choose me, Lucius. I have to choose me. But so now what? But when it comes to the when it comes to Blake Lively and Baldoni and Colleen Hoover, let's start with Colleen Hoover. So she's back on Instagram. Guess who's back, 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 back again, again, again. Colleen's back, Colleen's back, Colleen's back. And so Colleen Hoover has rejoined Instagram, but she made sure to remove all of her photos with Blake Lively, with fake Lively, Snake Lively. What do we call it? We need to decide. We need to make a decision on what are we calling her, fake Lively or Snake Lively? We know he's crying Ryan Reynolds. That's fine. Crying Ryan. I'm cool with crying Ryan. But why can't I see Colleen on IG? Oh, did she block you, Lainey? Maybe she blocked you. She probably blocked me. Let me see. Colleen Hoover Doover. Hoover. Oh, I can't see her either. She better not have blocked me. I didn't do anything to her other than call her a loser. Let me see. What? Did she really block us? If you can't take the heat, why are you going to stand by Blake? Look who's back. Yeah, her name is Colleen. Did she go away? She came back for 2 seconds and then she's like, nah, never mind. Let me slip right back in. Colleen Hoover. What? Are we discovering in real time that Colleen Hoover has me blocked on Instagram? Hoover. Instagram. Yeah. Oh, no, wait. Why can't you search her? She's like shadow banned. Interesting. Because if you type in her name in the search bar, it doesn't come up. But if you type it into Google and then you click the link on Google to her Instagram, she is back. Interesting. I'm looking at who's following her. Joey, Hannah, Angelina, Donna Bowling, Stassi Schroeder, Kyle Richards is following her, Chris Appleton, Emily D. Baker. Interesting collection of people following her. But yeah, there's nothing with her and Blake anymore. It looks like she and Blake have officially flown the coop. She has officially dumped. Do we decide Bake Lively? We're not going to call her Bake Lively. What does Bake Lively have to do with it? She's gone, exit stage left. Yeah, I mean, she probably realized like this just wasn't the smartest thing, was to align with Blake, but obviously like she can't align with Justin either, because people are like, well, why isn't she following Justin then? And why isn't Justin following her back? You really think Justin Baldoni is gonna be like, oh yeah, let me go follow Colleen Hoover? That seems like a nice, trustworthy lady to follow. Bull. There is nothing, you can't trust that lady. She stabbed him in the back and twisted it and then poured some of that Snake Lively oil on it. So, justified Justin. Oh, Blabbermouth Blake is what I'm going with these days. I don't like Blabbermouth Blake. Plantation Khaleesi, Plantation Princess. Okay, I gave you guys 2 options. This wasn't a let's get creative and, vote for who's, everybody's so creative. I gave you 2 options, fake Lively or Snake Lively. You have to pick one, all right? This is like a presidential election. You only get one of 2 choices. Doesn't matter if they're good choices or bad choices. You only got 2 choices, so pick the lesser of the 2 evils. I vote Snake Lively. Well, I guess Snake Lively does make sense because Snake Lively goes with Taylor Swift. Remember when her and Kim Kardashian were in the beef with all the snakes? So, but thank you, Colleen Hoover, for coming back to Instagram. Nobody was asking for it, but I'm glad that you found your way home. It ends with us. Well, Colleen Hoover's uh, Verity adaptation is coming to Amazon MGM Studios. That's probably why she did all this, was to promote her upcoming films. She has Reminders of Him. She also has uh, Verity. It Starts With Us, and then and that's not going to happen. But at least for the rest of it, she doesn't even seem to have many promotions for It Ends With Us anymore. She kind of snubbed and scrubbed it all. The only It Ends With Us photo she has is, what was this? I started writing this book a decade ago. A lot has changed in the last 10 years. It's like a montage, I guess, of her doing stuff, but not a single photo with Blake Lively or Justin Baldoni. Interesting. And then she has her Watch What Happens Live photos of when she was on Watch What Happens Live with Emily Simpson. Do you think Colleen Hoover made that production company because she thought that she would get the rights back to It Ends With Us to make a movie with Blake? No. So there are a lot of these theories, right? So that's one of them. Rose is Wild. I don't think that she intentionally, Colleen Hoover, made her new production company in any relation to the drama or fallout of It Ends With Us. I think she saw that her books were becoming really popular, and so to protect herself and to put more money in her pocket rather than to sell the rights to somebody else, I think that that's why she created the production company, and that's why she chose to run these productions through her company. Because, like, think about it: if she gives Justin Baldoni the rights, that's a one-time payment. And I think seeing the success of It Ends With Us and seeing how much money that grossed, I think she then wants to be making more money and having a more creative say in the production of her own books, which is smart. I mean, that's like what Reese Witherspoon did. She created her own production company and started producing her own projects, and good for her. So there's that. And then there's the morality clause. So let's actually put this to rest, because I see a lot of people talking about the morality clause, the morality clause. I want to be very clear with everybody. The morality clause is not a real thing. The morality clause is purely conjecture. It is a theory. I believe it was originally put out by Ari Jacob on Twitter, or on X, sorry. And I believe it was her speculation of maybe there is a morality clause, and if Justin Baldoni violates the morality clause, that could potentially get them the rights to the second film. It Starts With Us. I don't believe that that is a real. I mean, it could be. It's within the realm of possibility for sure, but one, it's unconfirmed, and two, with a morality clause, you typically have that with a studio, right? Like, a studio makes the actors the lead of the film. They usually sign a morality clause in their contracts, and it's to make sure that they don't do anything to embarrass the network or embarrass, anybody affiliated with whatever film that they're making. So should there be something like the girl from Amelia Perez, what was her name? Amelia Perez, actress, yeah. Carla Sofia Gascon. So Carla Sofia Gascon, trans woman, and had a number of like really terrible social media posts that ended up resurfacing. And, I haven't read through all of them. I've heard rumblings of some of them, but um, in poor taste, definitely not politically correct, strong opinions, right? And I believe that they were originally in Spanish and then translated into English. And so now that her old posts have resurfaced and she's under fire, I would imagine maybe there's not a morality clause there, because they haven't really been able to block her from anything, but they've kind of like said, like, well, there are some award shows coming up and we're not going to fund your trips to these award shows, but we technically can't uninvite you from these award shows. So I think that's a case where a morality clause would be applicable, where you see somebody that's currently in a scandal, they're the face of this film, and as a result of that, like, if anything, there would be, I would assume, a morality clause maybe with Sony, because Sony was the one that was the financer for It Ends With Us. So I would imagine they would be the ones that would have a morality clause for Baldoni, for Blake Lively, for all of those people. But usually morality clauses aren't, they're there, but they're more of like a back end precaution, right? Like a force majeure sort of clause. So I don't believe that that was actually the angle Colleen Hoover was going for, and I don't even think I'm confident in the theory that if there was a morality clause, that Baldoni would have to forfeit the rights back to Colleen Hoover. Again, it's absolutely within the realm of possibility. Do I believe that that's what's happening here? Not exactly. So That's just, I wanted to kind of put that out there. So if you do continue to see those theories, you know, that's where it is. A morality clause is why Ryan Reynolds took down the nice pool content from his social media posts. Disney and Marvel dressed him down. Possibly. And that's an example of where a morality clause would come in, right? Disney and Marvel want to protect Disney and Marvel. So they're going to have a morality clause to make sure that their characters that are playing these superheroes, that they're going to be super squeaky clean. And they want to make sure that they're not going to do anything that could embarrass or harm the reputation of Marvel and Disney. That's an example, a firm example of where a morality clause would come up and how it would likely fit in. I left the movie early and then went to friends hoping I didn't just get it, and half friends group left early time. They thought the wardrobe was a distraction. Interesting. I watched the movie and I enjoyed it when I saw it. I watched it prior to, it was actually, I think, the day before the CRD complaint and New York Times article dropped. So yeah. Okay. That's Colleen Hoover. So let's talk about Blake Lively's latest court loss, because that's not looking too good, not looking too shabby. But before I do, I wanted to give some love, a little shout out to my pals at Nutrafol. Got 3 sponsors today. Nutrafol is one of them. Listen, this year, nothing's holding you back from loving your hair again. Hair is so much more than what you see on the surface. It's a reflection of what's going on inside. Let Nutrafol target the key roots of your thinning hair and keep your hair growing stronger and healthier from within. Listen, your hair is so much more than what you see in the mirror. We have stress, nutrition, hormones, lifestyle changes, all of those, so many factors that can affect what we see on the outside, which is why I love that Nutrafol is science-backed. It's a whole body approach to nourish growth from within and achieve your best hair yet. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. Thinning hair is different for men and women, so there's not a one size fits all approach. But with Nutrafol, they have multiple formulas for men and for women that are tailored to different life stages, right? Postpartum, menopause, lifestyle factors. Like if you're plant-based, that could affect your hair as well, which is why Nutrafol has different formulas that are physician formulated with 100% drug-free ingredients that support hair growth from within by targeting the root causes of hair thinning through whole body health. Okay. Start your hair journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription with free shipping. And when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter that promo code NOFILTER, you'll lock in those deals. Okay. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com. That's spelled Nutrafol.com and use promo code no filter. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code no filter. Booyah, get it. Okay, let's talk about the latest court filing. So, Blake Lively, as we know, was saying that she needed an extension. She wasn't ready. She's like, hold on, judge, I'm not ready to present my case yet, because she wanted to amend her complaint. We had a hearing, was it last week or the week before? We had a hearing recently, and all the attorneys were present. Blake and Baldoni were not present. The plaintiffs, the defendants, not present, but the attorneys were there on their behalf. And so it was the first pretrial hearing. And in this hearing, Blake Lively wanted the gag order. She wanted Baldoni's case dismissed. And she wanted, what was the third thing that she wanted? She wanted the gag order. She wanted the case dismissed. I completely forgot. I'm sorry, my brain's blanking right now. But there was the third thing that she was asking for, and all 3 of them were denied. Now, that said, they were asking for they had until, because Baldoni amended his complaint against the New York Times using all of the information that all of the internet sleuths, shout out to Googe, we love Googe on this podcast, shout out to Googe, all the internet sleuths that were digging up the info about the metadata and the URLs from the article that the New York Times published, was then put into the lawsuit against the New York Times from Baldoni and Co. They're, I believe, trying to call themselves the Wayfair parties. There's the Wayfair parties, and then I believe Blake Lively, they're the Lively parties. Um, But so Blake and her legal team were saying, okay, I know we only have until the 14th to extend or to amend our complaint, but we want an extension. We need more time. We need until, I think it was March 5th that they were trying to request. So it was like an extra 2 weeks that they were saying they needed to put their case together in order to update their amended complaint. Well, Justin Baldoni's team said, hold on, wait a minute. Not only did they serve us during the LA fires, right? Remember when the fires are going on at the top of the year? That's when Blake Lively's team served Baldoni's team, or the defendants in the Blake Lively lawsuit. They were served during the LA fires, but then when they requested an extension, Blake Lively's team did not want the judge to abide by that extension. And I believe it was because Blake Lively's legal team was saying that they wanted to avoid having to serve them. And so they wanted to make sure that this was all handled directly via email. Baldoni's team did not respond to that. So then they were forced to serve them. And then it just happened to be during the LA fires when Baldoni was being displaced from his home. Right. So now here we are. Blake wanted her extension in March. And then the judge has now come back with his ruling saying, you did not provide me enough reason to give you that much more time. You didn't tell me why you absolutely need an extra 2 weeks in order to amend your complaint, which even to me from the outside looking in, the only time you need that much extra time is one, if you're looking for a smoking gun, right? If you still don't have it, but you're trying to dig up and find any sort of evidence or trying to get people to sign on to, testify or give some sort of information up that could help your case. Or, two, you're on some sort of fishing expedition, or there's probably more evidence that you want to conceal. So you want to make sure that, Baldoni doesn't have any more advantages. You want to make sure that you're covered. But my thing is, it's like, if this was a real case and the truth is on your side, then why, you shouldn't need to be filing all these extensions. If the truth is on your side and this is a slam dunk case, which is everything that she's claimed, and all, the Team Blake, I almost called them losers, but all the Team Blake people that want to believe her just for the fact that she's a woman, to me it just is kind of cuckoo crazy. But so the judge said, no, you don't get until March to amend your complaint. But if you want to amend your complaint, I'll give you the weekend. So it was originally due by the 14th, which is Valentine's Day, this Friday, her amended complaint, if she was going to make any amendments. And now the judge has given her until Monday. So she's got the weekend to pull something together, right? To pull a rabbit out the coochie. I don't know what she's going to do, but she's got the weekend to pull something together. And originally everybody thought that it was going to be Jenny Slate that was going to be her smoking gun. And then everybody started ripping apart Jenny Slate and her past in the Anna Faris interview. And so, but here, I have one of the letters here, and it's actually quite enlightening. Is this her attorney's letter or his attorney's letter? Because the letter itself didn't really tell us anything. And that's kind of what the judge said with Blake Lively. He's like, you haven't explained to me or given me a legit enough reason as to why you need all this extra time. So therefore, I'm not granting it. Sorry. Okay, so this is to Judge Lehman. Dear Judge Lehman, as counsel for Wayfarer Studios, this is Baldoni's team's letter. As counsel for Wayfarer Studios LLC, Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Steve Sorovitz, It Ends With Us Movie LLC, Melissa Nathan, the agency group PR, and Jennifer Abel, collectively known as the Wayfarer Parties, we write in response to yesterday's letter from counsel for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, the Lively Parties, which requests extensions of the deadlines to amend their complaint and file a motion to dismiss the Wayfarer Parties' amended complaint. Notwithstanding the Lively Party's inexplicable refusal to consent to a similar extension requested by the Wayfarer Parties in the throes of the Los Angeles wildfires, the Wayfarer Parties have no objection to the extension sought by the Lively Parties. However, if the court extends the Lively Parties' deadline to amend their complaint to March 5th, 2025, the Wayfarer Parties respectfully request that the court extend the Wayfarer Parties' deadline to respond thereto to April 16, 2025. So they're saying we have no objection, even though, Lively's team objected to our extension back in January. We're not fighting their extension. if you really want to give them the extension, Judge, we will allow it. But then we also ask that we have until April 16th to respond to whatever they want to put in their amended complaint. And then they continue by saying, unfortunately, the Lively Party's letter goes further than a simple request for an extension of time, leveling unnecessary and baseless attacks on non-party Jed Wallace and the litigation pending against Miss Lively in the United States District for the Western District of Texas. Well, this is interesting, and I'm glad that they brought this up as well, because if you notice, Jed Wallace is not represented or is not part of this lawsuit. Jed Wallace's lawsuit against Blake Lively is, I guess, its own independent lawsuit. Remember, Jed Wallace is the guy that was accused of astroturfing. Blake Lively's team was saying that Baldoni's team at Wayfair, the crisis PR team, hired Jed Wallace to astroturf on social media so that Blake Lively would get ripped apart on social media. Again, an allegation in which they have no evidence or proof of. I mean, who even if Jed Wallace, like if that's part of the packages that he sells with his own company of astroturfing, we have no proof that they actually used him for astroturfing, or there's no actual evidence outside of the random text messages that were then cherry picked and published in the New York Times. We have no evidence of that, which is why Jed Wallace is fighting back. And Blake Lively is not suing Jed Wallace, but Jed Wallace has decided that he is going to sue Blake Lively independently in a separate lawsuit outside of the Wayfair parties. Okay. It says, while the Lively parties now claim that Mr. Wallace's Texas action suffers from serious issues with respect to jurisdiction, venue, and claims, in Ms. Lively's verified petition seeking a pre-suit deposition of Mr. Wallace, Ms. Lively acknowledges that jurisdiction in Texas is proper given Mr. Wallace's domicile. A true and correct copy of Miss Lively's petition is attached hereto as Exhibit A, notably in her pleading. Miss Lively concedes that she lacks sufficient facts to state a claim against Mr. Wallace, hence the need for pre-suit discovery. In addition, while Wayfair parties strenuously object to the Lively party's assertion that Mr. Wallace's lawsuit is meritless and unmeritorious, it bears emphasis that Mr. Wallace is represented by separate counsel in this matter and that he is not a party in any case before this court. So that's confirming that Jed Wallace is suing Blake Lively independently and is not even using the same counsel. In summary, although the Wayfair parties take exception to many of the representations advanced in the Lively's party's letter, the Wayfair parties do not oppose their request for an extension, and in turn request a corresponding extension of the Wayfair's party's deadline to respond to the amended complaint to April 16th. So obviously Blake Lively's extension was not granted until March 5th. It's granted until Monday, so he gave her the weekend to do her extra credit and hopefully pull a rabbit out the cooch. But we'll have to wait and see what she actually delivers. Her amended complaint is due Monday if there will be any amendments made. So astroturfing is the deceptive yes. Okay, so Russ has defined astroturfing or put the definition in the live chat. Astroturfing is the deceptive practice of presenting an orchestrated marketing or public relations campaign in the guise of unsolicited comments from members of the public. Yeah, so it's fake comments on social media posts is what they're accusing Jed Wallace of. But the interesting part of this letter too is their accusation that while the Lively parties now claim that Mr. Wallace's Texas action suffers from serious issues with respect to jurisdiction, venue, and claim, in Miss Lively's verified petition seeking a pre-suit deposition of Mr. Wallace, Miss Lively acknowledges that the jurisdiction in Texas is proper given Mr. Wallace's domicile. A true and correct copy of Miss Lively's petition is attached here to as Exhibit A. Notably, in her pleading, Miss Lively concedes that she lacks sufficient facts to state a claim against Mr. Wallace, hence the need for pre-suit discovery. So she's asking for pre-suit discovery so that they can depose Jed Wallace, so that they can ask him, hey, did you do the astroturfing? So that he can say, yes, I did the astroturfing, and then they can actually move forward with their lawsuit against him. Because right now, guess what? They don't have any evidence, which is why they want to have pre-trial discovery, which means they want to dive into discovery to dig up the dirt to then try to prove the case against him. It's ridiculous. As Onijah Robinson would say, it's ridiculous. Zach, can you do more Blake Lively voices while texting Justin Baldoni? Yeah, I'll have to pull up some of her text messages. So yeah, silly rabbit tricks, no tricks in the cooch. Danielle says she just wrote a book about it. I apply it to my sister specifically. Oh, that's a separate conversation. So yeah, there's no bunny, honey. Yeah, no teeth. That's the only trick she's got is no teeth. Like no teeth lively. She's a snake with no teeth. She's all slither and no bite. Hmm. Yes, Sydney, I'm actually let them and then let me. Can we petition the courts to move this case to California so we can? I don't think that will happen. I don't think that there will be any adjustments to it. So we'll have to wait and see. Is astroturfing illegal? So the claim is that I don't know if I don't think astroturfing is technically illegal because like influencers use astroturfing, or I guess it would be considered astroturfing, right? Because a lot of times influencers, I knew a few of them, would buy followers. If their followers ever dipped, they would buy followers. That way they would stay at that number. And not only would they buy the followers, but they would also buy the engagement. And so you could hire agencies. There were, social media websites that would do this type of, fake engagement where they would go and leave comments on your post to make it seem like people were engaging with your post, to make it seem like people like you. But that wasn't always, um, that may have not have always been the case. But let me see. I don't believe astroturfing is necessarily illegal. Is astroturfing illegal? Many countries have laws that prohibit more overt astroturfing practices. In the United States, the FTC may send a cease and desist order or require you to pay a fine of $16,000 per day for those that violate the guides concerning the use of endorsements and testimonials in advertising. Yeah, because that would essentially, because I mean, if your social media post is technically an advertisement and the engagement that you're seeing is fake engagement, then yes, that is technically false advertising when it comes to endorsements or testimonials, because those comments that are praising whatever the advertisement in the ad is would technically not be genuine. So, yeah. Unfortunately, in most circumstances, this stuff is not illegal. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. There are violations of it, but I don't believe astroturfing necessarily is illegal, but I believe the argument that's being made from Blake Lively's team is that the astroturfing is with the intention of participating in this smear campaign as retaliation for the alleged harassment caused by Baldoni and Jamie Heath and I believe Steve Sorowitz. So looks like Blake Lively isn't following Colleen Hoover anymore. Interesting. Unless Colleen Hoover removed her as a follower. I'm sure Blake Lively and Colleen, I'm sure they don't want anything to do with each other right now because it's not looking good. Yes, guys, we have 1,300, almost 1,400 watching right now. Let's get it. Hit the like button. Hit that like button if you're watching the show and enjoying it right now. Right now. And yes, we hit 60K, 60,000 subscribers on YouTube. The goal for this year is to clear 100K. Let's get it. We did it on Instagram. We've already cleared over 150K. 100K in my pocket by this week, like Onaja Robinson would say. So, here's where we are. But thank you guys. We hit 60K. Let's get 100K. So if you're enjoying the show, if you're watching this and you are having a lot of fun, then definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to get the notifications when we're live and when the tea is hot, then you can hit that bell notification that way, or that bell button that way you always get a notification when we are live and ready for it. And I do see all the love that you guys are sending in the live chat and in the comments about my glasses. Yes, these are glasses from Pair Eyewear. Oh, Pair Eyewear has tons of shapes and styles to match any New Year vibe or hyperfixation, so you can keep trying new things and switch up your look anytime you want in this new year. So if you're going with this whole New Year, new you, then switch up your look, right? Base frames like I'm wearing right now start at just $60, including your prescription. Plus, you get 15% off by using code NOFILTER at PearEyewear.com. They have tons of collabs like Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, NBA, NHL. They have premium collections, sun tops, sparkles, classic colors, everything you could need. Super easy. And if you're going from indoor to outdoor or vice versa, you don't even need to switch out your glasses. You just switch out the top frames like that. Boom. I can just snap on some sunglasses and I've been looking fresh. Look at that. They even have different options. So I can try out and be like, what is my vibe today? Do I want an all black vibe? Like, what is the vibe that I'm going with today? Today, I'm going with the clean classic vibe, but you can check them out at paireyewear.com. Find the perfect frame from home with their virtual try-on. Super cool. For durable frames with sleek metal templates, details to perfectly proportionate wide frames. You have options. For every pair purchased, they also donate to the Eye Alliance. They provide a pair to a child in need. So you have options to help for yourself, and you also get to help other people as well. You get to help the children see. Prescriptions, including progressives and readers, blue light filtering, and more, is all available so you can see the world your way. Like I said, base frames start at $60 and top frames start at $25. Free shipping on all U.S. orders, free returns and exchanges within 30 days, no questions asked. Go give it a try right now. Show off new sides of yourself this year. Go to paireyewear.com and use code NOFILTER for 15% off your first pair, and support the show by mentioning that No Filter with Zack Peter sent you in the post-checkout survey. That's Pair Eyewear, P-A-I-R, paireyewear.com. Use code NOFILTER. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so that's Blake Lively. She got shot down in court. We've been exposed, or at least got confirmation that she served Baldoni with the lawsuit during the fires, which was a rumor and there was no real confirmation of that, and now we see it. It's all there. They're claiming that yes, it really is true. That did happen. We did not like that. That was not very nice, fake Lively and crying Ryan. I've done enough crying, trying. It's time to do something for me. Whew. Let's get it. Excuse me. It's against my religion to tell y'all my business. Zack, are we having a party when you get to 100K? I think we should. I think we should absolutely have a party when we hit 100K. We should do like a Zoom party. All the members of the Zack Pack can join the Zoom party. We'll get to celebrate good times. Come on. Celebrate, yeah. Celebrate good times. Come on. Okay, I don't think there's anything new to come out of Blake and Baldoni outside of that, but we have until Monday. So come Monday, get ready because we're going to be right there with our glasses on, ready to read Blake Lively's amended complaint. I mean, she can file it between now and then, but she's probably going to wait till the very last minute because I'm pretty sure they're going to use this weekend to try and do something, to try and pull some sort of smoking gun out of nowhere. It's not gonna be good. It's not looking good for her. But again, if the truth is on your side, if you're not lying, if you have evidence to back up all of your claims, like it shouldn't be that hard. If she really does have HR complaints, drop them. Let's see it. Why did you not have that put in the lawsuit initially? Like, where is your actual evidence? Where is anything that you have? Because any evidence that she had was really just the text messages with the PR team that have since been debunked. So there we go. There we go. They're adding Freeman to her complaint so that he can't be a lawyer on the case. That's ridiculous. That is truly ridiculous. I love your random Onija quotes. I know. Well, now I'm glad you catch them. It's private, but no. Is Blake Lively going to win this? It's private, but no. Did you see the Forbes video? Yes, my love. We played it on the show yesterday. We watched it live. Do you want to watch it again? It was pretty wild. Tuesday, not Monday. Tuesday. Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah. Well, it's due by the 17th, right? I believe was the extension. She got an extension until the 17th. So we'll probably read it on Monday. I don't take Mondays off, even though it is President's Day. But I will still be here. It's a Hail Mary. Yeah, right now, anything she does is a Hail Mary that she's trying to hope will do something for her. I don't know. Um, let's see. Lynn says, I agree with Jacqueline. Since watching Zack, he seemed to have lived life and matured. He's ready to get a hubby, settle down, raise some kiddos. Have I matured? Really? Isn't Monday considered a holiday? Yes, Monday is considered a holiday. It's President's Day. You think Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds would write an apology if they want to settle? I don't know. That's the thing. We'll have to see how this all plays out. But let's do some Housewives news. We haven't had a ton of Housewives news lately because I just feel like Housewives news has been a little boring. But so we'll talk about Beverly Hills, and then we'll talk about Lisa Rinna and Andy Cohen calling out Lisa Rinna because that was also quite a good time. So Beverly Hills, I think, was a good episode this week. Last week, and you'll hear us say this on Meghan McCain's podcast, which, to preface, was taped before any of us were able to watch this week's episode of Real Houses of Beverly Hills. But so in it, we see Sutton taking Kyle and Garcelle to Augusta, Georgia, and to meet her mother. The other scenes with like Bose and Erica and Dorit, like they're kind of boring. We didn't get a whole lot, but at least in this episode, we got to know Sutton a little better. It took long enough, right? She normally is poking into other people's business, but for the first time, we really saw Sutton humanized. We really see her having, a moment that's relatable for the audience, which I know at first I was like, I'm not interested in this Georgia storyline. I don't care about her mother. I don't care about any of this. But I thought that this episode was really solid, and I give Sutton a lot of props. I even give Garcelle some props, right? Like she stuck her nose in it and, tried to speak up to her mother. I still would like to see Garcelle hold Sutton to the same standard that she holds Dorit to, because you can tell if Garcelle went to Dorit's home and she was treated the way the way Sutton's mother treated her. If that were Dorit's mother, Garcelle would be up in arms about that, and Garcelle would be raising hell with that. And so I would like to see that same standard applied to Sutton, because I think Sutton, you can definitely hold her accountable for a lot of that, right? But it was a good episode, and I like that we got some vulnerability from Sutton. I like that we got to see her mother, and I like that we got to see the bad side of her mom, but also we got to see the mom soften and kind of break on camera and be like, yes, I do want to come and I do want to support you. I really did like it. I thought it was a solid episode. And I'm glad that Sutton really brought something, and we got to see a bit more of a softer side of her. Sutton warned her mother was cold. Yeah. Sutton finally opened up after all these years. Sutton's mom giving Ramona Singer vibes. Freaking nightmare. Yeah. No, I wouldn't say Ramona's kooky and wacky. Sutton's mom is just very like tough and stern and like a rock, right? Jennifer holds Sutton accountable on the after show in the first and the second episode. Yeah, I think Jennifer Tilly does a better job of holding Sutton accountable. My issue, though, is Garcelle is always willing to hold all of the other women accountable, but never hold Sutton to the same standard. She'll like kind of occasionally hold Sutton to like some sort of standard, but it's always a lower bar than the other women, specifically Dorit. And I think of all of the women, we've seen Sutton do and say some questionable stuff. So I think I, again, would like to see Garcelle hold Sutton to that same standard, but solid episode. Yeah, I agree. Chris Garcelle is a bit hypocritical. Not even a bit. Very. That said, that's Real Houses of Beverly Hills. Good episode. Don't really have any more commentary outside of that. But then we have, related to Beverly Hills, Lisa Rinna has been going around because she has a new podcast called Let's Not Talk or Don't Talk About the Husband. Terrible name, right? My friend Jacques, who's a writer for Daily Mail, had a podcast called Unpopular, and now I love watching his stories because he's always got hot takes, and we don't always agree on things, but I do appreciate his hot takes. And he was saying that he thought Rinna should have always launched a podcast, but it should have been called something like From My Lips, which I agree. A Lisa Rinna podcast, From My Lips, I think is great, and I think she could have different guests on. I think her and Harry together, I don't know if that's a concept that will last, especially if it's called Let's Not Talk or Don't Talk About the Husband or Let's Not Talk About the Husband. I just think the quote as the name is too long. It's too wordy. It's too close to a Housewives nod where she's really trying to separate herself from Housewives. That to me, I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know. IDK. But we'll see where it goes. But as she was promoting this, she ended up on another interview saying that Real Houses of Beverly Hills was like the Titanic and it was sinking. And so I guess she had a conversation with Erica because she went to go see Erica as Roxy Hart in New York, and her and Rinna had dinner. And I guess Erica opened up to Rinna and said that like she was kind of hurt by that because like she's still on the show and like this is her job and this is her life. So to say that it's a sinking ship like the Titanic, and then Rinna comes on Andy Cohen's Radio Andy radio show, and she's over here being like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Like maybe I didn't mean that. Maybe I did." Like uh she's kind of like a fish out of the water, just like flapping around, not really knowing how to clean up her mess because obviously Andy's holding her accountable. And he's like, that's not very nice. We're having a solid season. The ratings are up. The ratings are great. I get what she means. And like, is the show really that good this season? I think Bose is helping to freshen it up. I really like that Sutton is starting to play ball because I was very critical of her at the top of this season. And so I don't know. I was thoroughly impressed with what they delivered this week. We'll see how much it continues to deliver as the weeks go on. But like, I kind of agree with Rinna. I think Housewives in general, the Housewives franchise is the Titanic and it is sinking. It's sinking very slowly, or we're at least heading towards the iceberg, right? And I don't know how we're going to save it. At this point, I think you just get everybody off of the boat, you put them on some life rafts, and you figure out a new plan to build a new ship. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But Brandy Glanville even joined. She decided to enter the group chat. And so she agreed with Lisa Rinna. And she said, the format is getting old, pitting women against women. She said that she agreed with Lisa Rinna's comments. And this was an exclusive in OK Magazine. Okay. I mean, I think Brandy is still angry at Bravo. She's still angry at Housewives for all of the fallout from Ultimate Girls Trip in Morocco, which I feel like we finally like forgot about it. It's like dying down. I'm like, no, bring it back. Bring it back, damn it. Bring it back. I miss it. I miss it. I miss it. I miss it. It's also crazier than Housewives. The fact that over 10,000 chemicals have entered our US food supply, yet the EU limits this to just 300 additives. I personally don't have the time to be sifting through all the ingredient labels to see what's in my food, which is why I love using Thrive Market. Okay. Thrive Market makes it easy to find better options without the hassle. One of my favorites is the Healthy Swap scanner in the Thrive Market app. It's simple. Scan any item and it'll instantly suggest cleaner, healthier grocery alternatives. For me, this means swapping out sugary snacks for high quality swaps like Chomp's beef sticks, which I love. Simple Mills crackers, their almond crackers are my favorite. I love the black pepper ones. Lesser Evil popcorn, you know I'm a sucker for some popcorn. And the best part is everything gets delivered right to my door and I get savings on every order, okay? Another thing I love is Thrive Market's Smart Cart feature. It takes the stress out of replacing junk food. When you create an account, Thrive Market asks the right questions and automatically builds a grocery cart tailored to your needs, filled with healthier alternatives to your favorite brands. From there, you can adjust, add, and remove items before checking out. So many good brands that you're going to want to check out. So if you're ready for a junk-free start to 2025, head to thrivemarket.com/nofilter and get 30% off your first order, plus a free $60 gift. That's Thrive, THRIVE market.com/nofilter. Thrivemarket.com/nofilter. Okay, let's get it. Sharon says, Zach, I was at the grocery store and saw Chomps and thought of you. I know. I need to get that Chomps money back. Zach, can you practice reading your commercials in a different character? Practice your acting skills. Be a holistic nun. Why would I do that? Should I read it in Blake Lively? Rachel says, clickbait. Is this not about Blake Lively? Listen, Rachel, we covered the whole first half of the show. You're 49 minutes late, lady. The whole first half of the show was all about Blake Lively. We read the legal letter. We broke it down. We talked about Colleen Hoover. All of it. Okay, Rachel, sorry you're late to the party. That's like when you come late to the party and you're like, what happened to all the food? What? Who ate all the food? Why is this low? Which first of all, you should never run out of food at a party, but that's like, read it as toothless and flirty. Blake Lively, yes, toothless and flirty. We need an Onisha Robinson update, you guys. I don't know what happened. I checked this morning to see if there were any updates on her. Last we heard was that she was in Dubai, and now we don't know what happened to her. Hey, did Ryan get fired by Marvel? No, Ryan Reynolds did not get fired by Marvel. Unfortunately, he's doing A-okay. Well, I guess that's not unfortunately. Fortunately, he's doing A-okay. So, yeah. It's private, but no. It's private, but no. We'll see what happens. It's interesting because we can see all of the media is now covering all of Blake's old interviews. We had the Daily Mail, who is covering her Simple Favor interviews when she like basically hijacks and like holds the reporters hostage. There's like one interview where she has the Aviation Gin, which is Ryan Reynolds' gin company, and she's like pouring it into a martini glass, and she's like, "You're doing a shot. Take a shot. Drink it right now." She literally makes the reporter drink the gin on the spot, and it's like hot too. It's not even chilled gin. It's just like gin neat, just room temperature, warm gin, and like it's just not a cute look. And then there's the Forbes interview, which we played on the show yesterday. We played a clip from it. It was like some sort of women's summit. Yeah, it was like a women's summit. And she talked about, needing authorship over the films that she does, but she doesn't say it up front because she's I don't know, bitch. Russ Davis says Mint Mobile ads are everywhere, especially noticeable on shows covering the Blake and Baldoni stuff. Yes, I've noticed that as well. Because not only are Mint Mobile ads, well, I guess now the more we say it, the more they're likely going to run. But they run on my videos on YouTube now. They run on the podcast on like Apple. So the Ryan Reynolds crew is doing the damn thing. X lady says, just joined the live, Zack. Did you notice that in her pre-trial deposition petition, it only has the 17 points instead of the 30? Oh, interesting. So she changed it back because remember it went up to the 30 and then Baldoni's like, I've never seen this list before. And then now it's been retracted. Who was the one that was? Oh, I guess there were some interviews where people, and some of the reporters, and I was saying that it's totally, you can see how biased they are in their reporting of the Blake and Baldoni case and how they were very much Team Blake because they refer to like, yeah, what about the point of the 30-point list of items that he agreed to? And I was like, actually, he's denied ever agreeing to that. There were 17 points. It was a separate list that was presented. They verbally agreed on that, all agreed to make sure that the workplace was safe moving forward. But the 30-point list was news to them until they saw it published in the New York Times' coverage of the CRD complaint. So Isabel says, Ryan Reynolds sold Mint Mobile. He did sell it, but I believe he has some sort of role in it. Maybe it's similar to like Bethany Frankel. Remember when she sold Skinny Girl and she agreed, I think, for like the first 5 or 6 years after the sale that she would still be the face of the brand and she would help promote the brand anytime they had a new product launch. So it could be something like that because obviously he's still in all of the commercials, but I don't know. But did you see the documentary on Army Hammer? Yes, I did. And it was low budget, similar to like the Housewife and the Hustler documentaries, but we're not going to go there again. You mean the lady with the margarita mix? Yeah, I saw Harry Hamlin clapped back at her too, saying that she has no taste after she dragged his pasta sauce. What's on the 17-point list? So curious. We've broken it down before. It was a lot of, girl, I ain't gonna read that list. That was like, you're 2 months behind if you don't know what's on that list. But it was basically like, oh, no more calling me sexy on that. It's like, I only called you sexy. It's like you said that you wanted the character to look sexy and you were trying to style the character specifically so the character could look sexy. And then you're like upset that I called you sexy. Like, or I said, yeah, the character does look sexy. And that's what you're taking out of context. Or like the when she's like, oh my God, Jamie Heath showed me a video of like a naked one. She called it pornographic. And she said that, he showed her a video of a nude woman only to find out it was a still shot from the home water birth that his daughter, when the wife gave birth to the daughter and it's the wife holding the infant baby fresh after giving birth and you don't see any naked parts, be it they referred it to pornographic material. Like that's what's, and so it was stuff like that, like no more showing pornographic material to Blake Lively with nude women, with his wife nude. And it's like, you don't even see anything. Yes, she's technically nude, but she's holding the baby because she just gave birth. Like that context matters. That's why when you have those people out there, like that Dr. Leslie woman who's out there being like, oh, she's telling the truth. She believed women. I'm like, well, women lie. Women lie. The drum. Oh, everyone's dragging us on Meghan McCain. The reel she posted on Instagram. Oh my God, the comments are wild. Seriously, Meghan, all the Swifties are coming out. This is so tacky. She literally told people to vote, as in Taylor Swift, because Meghan McCain said that Taylor Swift told people to vote for Kamala, and then obviously Kamala lost in a big way. That Meghan's point was like it made Taylor look vulnerable. It made it look like her influence didn't actually mean what it did. I mean, you had so many celebrities that came out to endorse Kamala Harris. But yeah, they're like, this is tacky. All Taylor did was tell people to vote. But the point Meghan made was that she told people to vote for one candidate specifically, and then that candidate didn't win. So it makes Taylor Swift look like she's vulnerable and like her influence doesn't actually stick because it didn't work. This is so gross. First of all, Taylor's not even a football player. She was there to watch her boyfriend play. She sold out that arena 3 times and gave thousands to feed the city's homeless and hungry when she did. Oh, Taylor Swift helped all the homeless and toothless. Please focus on important things. You don't think there are many people that still like Taylor Swift? Come on, man. If you get out of your bubble, I think you'll realize that that is simply not true. You don't like her, sure, your choice, but the world is full of Swifties. Listen, bruh. My body, my choice. And if I don't want to, shake it off to Taylor Swift, that's my prerogative. My body, my choice. Okay. But I also said, if you listen to the full interview, Megan and I talk about how much we actually enjoyed some of Taylor Swift's music. If you listen to this week's episode of the Pop Report, you'll hear us talk about the Reputation album and how much I really enjoyed the Reputation album. And apparently she's doing Reputation Taylor's edition. So there you go. Mildly mercurial says the points were different. For example, the point 17 in the 17-point list was not point 17 in the 30-point list. Different language. Yeah, they were 2 completely different lists. Zach, did you enjoy the last album, Tortured Poets? No, I felt like a damn tortured poet listening to it. There were some good songs, but like it was not her best album. It was arguably her worst album. Travis is sexy. I don't care. I like Travis Kelce. I just think he's gonna dump her now. Wow, imagine getting that triggered over a celebrity. Are we like bored or something? Listen, I got, first of all, in defense of the Swifties, I got very triggered over Onijah Robinson, and I stand by that. I will defend Onijah. I will fight for Onijah. I will do all the things. I will absolutely get triggered if you call out Onijah Robinson. When people call her a Looney Tune, I'm like, don't call her a Looney Tune. She is a strong woman. See, everyone says that I'm anti-women and I'm racist, but I'm over here lobbying for Onijah Robinson. Let's get it. Let's get it. Get it. Get it. Let's get it. Get it. Get it. The drama. The drama. 1989 is the best. Red is second. That's it. 1989 was good. Red was good. I loved Reputation because she's like, they say I did something bad, but why does it feel so good? Snap, snap, pat the puss, all of it. Like Taylor Swift has some good music, but I also can get annoyed with her from time to time. Listen, Onijah had us getting fries at 2 a.m. Our cops need the rest. Oh, poor Onijah. You have Zack. Zack is pro Onijah. Get it, get it, get it. That's right. I'm pro Onijah. I don't listen to Taylor Swift. Well, Val, you sound racist. Actually, I want to apologize because sometimes I'll say that and I mean that as a joke. And then I think somebody was like, you called me a racist and I have a family. And I was like, it was a joke, my love. I don't think anybody genuinely believes that you're a racist. Zach, that Onaja is hysterical along with your commentary. I love that Onaja. Why do I have a feeling Zach wants 100K a month or more and land from Pakistan? That's right. That's right. And on that note, have a good day, guys. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Leave a review if you're enjoying the podcast on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. You can drop a comment, all the things. Let's do some shout outs on the way out. But you can also give me a follow at Just Plain Zack all over the internet. Follow the podcast at No Filter with Zack. So go and follow and subscribe. Let's hit 100K by the end of the year. That's the goal of 2025 is we're going to hit 100K. We're now at 60K. So that's only what, 40,000. That's a lot. 40,000 more subscribers to go. Let's get it. But some shout outs for people leaving reviews on Apple Podcasts. Thank you guys. I love you. Zack is a gem. This comes from Bandit Wifey 03. Zack is so refreshing, honest. Love his takes. They're mostly right. And when he's wrong, he admits it and corrects himself. Such a good pod. Thank you. Well, like I said, Sutton, boring, and now she'd spice things up a bit. This one comes from Just Another Mole Eliza. It says, low class, low IQ. Brick wall waterfall. Bitch thinks she's got it all, but she don't. And I do. But she wrote, shrieking peasant gossip from intellectually barren garbage. Okay. And then we have Christy G from PA says, my favorite podcast. Love this podcast. It's one that I can listen to every single day. The fact that people take issue with him having differing perspectives kind of grosses me out. I fully appreciate that he will go against the grain and hope he continues to stay true to his thoughts and opinions despite the ebb and flow of the rabid keyboard warriors. It's a shame that some people dislike him simply because they do not agree with him on all fronts. Sad, really. He's allowed to have rational, thoughtful conversations, but too many people get too easily offended. I know that's right. Let's get it. Let's get it. And then Miss Sassy Pants 5 says, used to like Zach's podcast, but now all he talks about is Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. Also sounds too much like Donna Bowling now. It's boring. Well, I happen to love Donna Bowling, so I will take that as a compliment. Thank you, guys. I love you. I appreciate you. Please go leave a review. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Latest, skaters. Bye.